2, check. The idea, I'll call it product knowledge, and the idea of following a product from beginning to end, and the people who come in connection with it. You know, like the whole piano thing, but it's got a political, a sociological attachment and point of view. Point of view is really important. Whatever you do, make it present tense. What are these actors and characters wanting right now? Right now. They want Pa. They want Pa. The work really has to have a sociological or political viability or viewpoint, or you know, something relevant politically, sociologically, psychologically, something with this in the social sciences. Juxtaposition is actually also very, very important. The use of juxtaposition. And so is the use of the chance to give everyday people a chance to tell their stories, to burst out, you know, what are their dreams, what is their mundane life like versus the contrast of what they really want to be. I think dreams are really exciting because they're universal. There's room for everything in dreams. It's an interesting, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing that can be interpreted in so many different ways. How you doing? 'Cause we are born innocent. Leave me idiot. Leave me. We are faltered. It doesn't matter anymore. Idiot, I do believe I failed you. Idiot, I do believe I've tried. Who do you possess? 'Cause we are born innocent. Leave me, idiot. Also, the guy near where you work there could be an interesting, near where you live, outside the liquor store at Yonge and St. Clair. That could be an interesting thing too. Go to Yorkville, get some videos. Video killed the radio. So, in my mind and in my car, we can't rewind. You've gone too far. Also, Steven, you know, video him as a storyteller, you know, storytellers. McKellar story. Don McKellar. So he gets up there at the, what's it called, the on the fly, right? Okay. And believe me, it was a long night. You're right, it was long. It was long. And it was a mixed bag, and some of them weren't that good. And Don McKellar even acknowledged that. He goes, you know, he said in a showcase like this, he said, you know, people usually say everyone's a winner. And he said, well, everybody shouldn't be a winner. But on the other hand, the people that we have chosen, it's bullshit. He said all these awards are bullshit. And it was so hilarious because he got up there and they gave one for best editing and stuff like that. But Chad, the energy there was really great because it was people doing stuff for very little money, for nothing really, because they got free use of the equipment. And the thing is, some of them that they created, it was so inventive and so in 24 hours, it was just really cool, you know. And it just reminded me of the Fringe energy, you know. There was a buzz, and Jason, you know, we could feel it, and it was really exciting. And they started off at the Music Gallery, I think, a few years ago, with like 200 people or something like that. And now it was like sold out, and people were clamoring for tickets in this huge cinema. And there were people like begging and couldn't get in. Like, yeah, some people at the Canadian Film Center couldn't get in. Like, it was a tough ticket. So it's just exploding, you know. And I mean, there's a lot of hype about it in the press as well. So that sort of added to it. But anyway, it was really exciting, you know. So anyway, having said that, I just wonder how, you know, what your I mean, if you had, do you want to order first? Should we order? Yeah, let's order first. Because you've got only, let's order first, yeah. Oh, the lumberjack. We could get that for Sean. We've got to go visit him, eh? We have to do that. Okay, I think that would be great. I've got to call him too. Which is pretty reasonable, actually. Yeah. Oh, you can get coffee and shit. That's great. Yeah. Just the eggs, man. I think I'm gonna get that. Yeah. Yeah, it's got a lot of shit here. I mean, all of it. They got everything. Burgers, you know. Like, yeah. Hello, check. It's fun, eh? I mean, what the hell?
I think I know what I want.
Okay, good. Okay, we're ready. Okay. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Speaking of this, what's your day like?
My day?
Yeah.
Woke up, got dressed, came to work. That's it.
How many days a week do you work here?
I used to work about 5 or 6, but now I'm down to 2.
Why is that?
I don't know. Just kind of chilling out.
What are you doing the other 3 or 4?
Hanging out.
Right on. Enjoying the summer, eh?
Yeah.
Right on. Good for you.
Gonna do some traveling.
Oh, where are you
next
going to go?
week.
Where?
Going to Montreal.
Okay.
And then 2 weekends in a row I'll be going to my cottage, the summer resort in Paris.
Oh my God. And why Montreal?
Because it's cool. I don't know. I really like that city a lot. Good nightlife.
It's a good party city. Yeah, go ahead.
How come I get to talk into this exciting little machine?
Because I'm making a record. I'm documenting my experience, and you're one of the people who's entering our experience. Actually.
Well, I hope I can make your experience that much better.
How can you do that?
Service with a smile.
Okay, you're great. You're cool.
Cafe.
Are you? Yes. At the what's this called?
Casa Cafe.
Casa Cafe. So it's Mexican?
Oh, well, no. We're just here, you know. I'm not actually Mexican.
No?
No.
So it's a front.
Yeah, we pretend.
Okay. Do you have Mexican eggs?
We do.
Oh, you do? Okay, so that's good.
These are the Texi Casa eggs, which are 2 eggs scrambled with tortillas. Yeah.
Is that what you're getting?
No,
okay,
no.
What are you getting?
I'm getting the works.
Okay, the works.
How can I get 2 eggs for you?
Sunny side up is great.
Side with bacon, ham, or sausage?
Bacon's great.
And white or brown toast?
Brown. And I'll actually have just juice. I won't have any coffee or tea. Just water with juice.
Are you from Toronto?
Me, yeah.
Born and raised?
Born and raised. I'm a Torontonian. Well, now I'm a Scarborougherian. Live in Scarborough.
Why do you stay in Toronto? Or why do you stay in Scarborough?
The rent's free. I live with my parents, so I don't have to pay anything. I don't know. You know, I like Toronto. It's the only city I know. It's like home to me, you know?
Right on.
Once you memorize all the streets and all the bus routes, there's no point in leaving, because then you'll just end up getting lost a whole lot.
Right on. Cool. Okay, I'll have just the eggs, ma'am.
Just the eggs, huh?
Just the eggs, yeah.
Would you like the eggs, yeah?
Over easy, please.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Brown or white or red toast?
I'll take white, just for health reasons.
Okay. Keeping it healthy. Anything you would like your coffee?
Yeah, and water, please. You want water?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Great,
Are
thanks.
you guys not from Toronto?
Well, we are. Well, you're from Waterloo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from Waterloo, and but
I live in Toronto
Where
now.
Wildwater Kingdom is?
It might
To
be.
know Waterloo?
I think it might be. Well, you might be
I've never
right.
been there. But I
we should go. You want to go with
They
us?
have a good song on TV.
Oh, I think there's Pioneer Sports World. There.
Okay.
I don't know, because it's like an old pioneering town, and now there's Pioneer Sports World. It's very bizarre.
Right.
Miniature golf courses and kids flying everywhere.
Watch it. Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm born and raised here. Yeah.
So what kind of experience are you documenting?
Well, I don't know. See, in the end, we have to look at it and find out what's interesting. You know what I mean? But
You must be lying to me. You just got that and you want to see if it works.
that's it exactly. Yeah. I don't know, just, for $1.99 tape, you can afford to just be whack, have some fun, But, yeah.
John McKellar.
Yeah, John McKellar.
There's a buzz and there's an energy.
Yeah.
You can get tickets.
Yeah.
And then you were in the middle of his speech and he's saying, not everyone's a winner.
Right, exactly. And then he went on to give it a prize, and Canon sponsored it. So they gave all the filmmakers these really high-tech Canon cameras to use, not to keep, but to use. And they're like $6,000, I think. And so Canon when the guy from Canon presented an award, I mean, it's a good fit for them because it's good advertising. And at the end of each film, it says sponsored by Canon, and an editing facility or an editing company also sponsored it. It was good, but it inspired me because I thought, fuck, I could do that, I could do that, and just bring theatrical energy to some of these things. And some of them were trying to make like well-made films where it wasn't that interesting, and at the end there would be a little twist, and you go, oh, that's the point of this 10-minute film. But I would like to do things like in theater where every moment of the piece you're engaged. Some of them were they just dragged, and I just think so that it inspired me to go, fuck, why not try it, and have some fun and be creative and engage with people and find an interesting way or find stuff that I'm personally interested in doing, themes or styles of creating that's really exciting, and finding someone to work with, and maybe over the course of a period of time, different people to work with, to collaborate with. And I thought of you instantly because you and I both had experiences in New York. I know that you mentioned you might not be that interested in film at this point, but But
at the same time, it's more helping you out more than me actively getting involved in the, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, that's a question I would ask you is theoretically, if we were to do something, like what would you be interested, why would you be interested in doing something?
Well, I think the thing is I'm very interested in film, but I don't really feel like I know a lot about it.
Right.
And I don't really feel like I have a lot of my own film ideas.
Yeah,
so I think it would be very interesting for me to help somebody who has an idea, who has an inspiration, who just wants to go for it and do something. Because I don't think I'm someone, with theater I feel like I can come up with an idea, have an idea, and spearhead it myself.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
yes.
And,
oh, great. Wow, lemon too. This is great.
Yeah, I know you guys will be just as excited as I am. This is the first reason I've ever served in one of these.
wow.
Thank you. Oh, you didn't do that just for us because you liked us. It's like policy now.
She didn't even tell me what they are. They were just there.
Okay. Okay. They're very nice. Thank you. You did do it for us.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Anything for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, here at the Casa Cafe. Here at the Casa Cafe. I hear what you're saying, and to be honest, I've never done a film. I mean, I did I show you my one in Newfoundland?
No.
I'd like to show it to you.
You have it on VHS?
Yes, and do you have a machine?
Yeah.
Maybe I could come over and we could hang out and just watch a couple things and see, because I'll be honest with you, I don't have much experience at all either, and to me, partly that's exciting, because it means just ignorance. You don't know what you're doing. It's like when we did Stuck. We didn't know what we were doing to some degree.
Yeah.
We knew and even as a director, in some ways it was a difficult piece, and other directors balked at that piece because they didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And I remember you were like, okay, I remember you were talking about those, some sort of thing which you might incorporate in this next piece, and sort of, that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, remember that? And I said, well, think about it. And but I'm very open. That's what I want to say, is that I'm very open to just exploring. And with video and audio, some people might not want to be video, but they wouldn't mind being audio taped,
Yeah.
That, and then what could happen, see, I'll tell you what I'm interested in doing, okay, and just give you some ideas. Is that cool?
Yes.
And you can tell me if that, if that excites you or not, and if it gives you ideas. But I'm a little excited. I just had a cigarette, The woman who worked there gave me one. Dunhill, very strong. Yeah. They're nice people there.
Yeah.
But let me calm down. I've got some notes, okay? Maybe I can just talk from my notes.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay. Just last night I was thinking I gotta somehow give Chad something about where I'm, what's exciting me.
Yeah.
And you've got to watch. I don't want you to be late for,
No, I have this project.
Okay, great. Okay. One thing I'm interested in doing is blurring the bounds between reality and fiction, blurring the boundaries. I haven't seen Blair Witch, but even before that, I've been thinking about that a lot.
Oh, yeah.
What's real? What's truth? What isn't truth? And that's what I think we discovered in Stuck too. I mean, you don't know when it was kicking into a dream and when it wasn't, and when how much of it was real. Do you know? And how much of it was just this guy being high. Do you know what I mean?
and to me that's very exciting, keeping the audience on edge and inviting them in as opposed to spoon-feeding them. You know, and not having it a well-made film, but something where, you know, you go with the flow, like in Stuck, it's a roller coaster, and as a filmmaker, you can do that with documentary. Whatever happens, you just go, there's the energy, go with it, you know, and making decisions on the fly, you know. But to some degree, having an idea about themes and questions that you want to provoke out of people, responses, emotional responses that are, to me, film and theater are heightened life, you know. And so to find, and I think the reason I maybe want to follow these theater people is because I know that a little bit. Theater is something that you and I know about, and these are people who are on a mission. They're going to New York for a reason. I don't know exactly. There might be different reasons, you know. I think also theater people are naturally characters. You know, these people, some of them are just really funny. I think that gives a lot of room for setting up situations where we might set up a situation with an actor or a couple of them. We could even do a mock, and this is the other thing, the boundaries between mockumentary and documentary. You know, what is set up and what is actually spontaneous, you know? We could do a mock, I was just thinking about this, a mock press conference, right?
The Canadians in New York.
Exactly, you know? You know what I'm saying?
Great.
And what we could do is have the other actors dress up as reporters and asking questions, you know, and so we could do a lot of shit with this for a very low budget, you know, and allow them to spontaneously improvise, you know, and even I'll ask them to come up with the question, you know, even do a jam session of questions that we would ask them. So, I mean, it's just one idea. So it would be starting it before we went down and finding out specific questions about why they're going, you know, but trying to make it as theatrical as possible. And also,
it would be so great though, because you had great shots at the airport and and like running down, like, goodbye guys,
totally, and shit. And also, Chad, infusing it with scenes that we could create with goodbye is good, but okay, in theater, what are the obstacles? What happens? So that we could plant things like somebody forgets his passport, and we could create situations that the audience doesn't know are real or not, and make as many obstacles as possible, and have as much fun. Like Jack, everything is an obstacle towards getting a joint, you know, or getting something. And you know, if we found people who want to play along with us, like the actors, we may have to interview like all these actors. You said Chris Abram is going.
Yeah, so therefore, do you know Terrence Bryant?
Yes, wonderful guy.
Clinton Walker's probably going down, you know, maybe have some real funny characters.
Ed Fielding. I wanted to work with him for a long time.
Is Ed Fielding going down?
I hope so. If he's in Chris Abram's show, right?
Oh no, not Mysterium Tremendum.
Oh,
it's his show last year.
Right.
The Kabbalistic. You did.
Right, I did see it. It was very good.
Yeah.
I thought it was Mysterium Tremendum. I thought that would be hilarious because what's his name's in that too. And what's his name? You know, the guy who looks like Dan Aykroyd a bit.
Jim Jones.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
Well, everyone. Hume Boz.
Yeah. That would be a great one to go with. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was the show, but it's not. But anyway, that's whatever. The other possibility. Who was in that with Terrence? Thank you.
Yes, please.
Yeah, thanks. Who was in that with Terrence?
Graham Somerville.
Right, and he played the patient. Yeah. I enjoyed it. It wasn't as sort of. I mean, Mysterium Tremendum was a whole different ball game, which was very exciting.
You like Mysterium Tremendum, eh?
Yeah. Well, we're on tape now, so I'm going to. Can I have half a piece of bacon? Is that cool?
No.
Give me a small one.
There's a small one.
Thank you, Chad. Thank you. I liked it because it was theatrical. It didn't leave me with any feeling of death, though. Do you know what I mean? I remember reading about it, and he said it was sort of like a dream sequence that came out of him. I liked it, and there was some interesting stuff. I would have liked to seen it go deeper in some ways, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. But I think they're very exciting theater people, you know? And you know him, eh? Mm-hmm. What were your feelings about it?
I didn't really enjoy it very much, but I think... But that's only out of saying that I really enjoyed... I really thought Kabbalistic was a really special show.
Yeah, very thoughtful.
To me, it was an amazing combination of... One of the best combinations of intellectual and emotional theater.
Yeah.
Because I find some theater can be intellectual, or it can be emotional, but it rarely is both.
Yeah, yeah. And that's something I'd like to bring to this film. You know, I mean, what does it mean for Canadians to go down to New York? Why are they doing that? You know?
Yeah, why is it such a... Well, 'cause, I mean, one thing, David, that's really amazing is I remember when you guys even just did stuff there, I wasn't even doing it. People were always asking me, every party I went to,
Right.
everybody was like, oh, how stuck to being in New York? Oh my God, you're going to New York. Oh my God, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of funny, actually. Yeah.
David, I think you're really catching on to a phenomenon. This weird fascination that Canadians, like, it means so much more for them to be in New York than it does for them to have a show in Toronto.
Yeah.
Canadians would rather go to New York and fail than succeed in Toronto.
Interesting.
And I find that unbelievable.
That is, yeah. There's still a mythology about that place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I told them, I said, you know, it didn't really do that well. We had a rough time. David was really stressed out. It was really hard on him.
Yeah.
Looking at hindsight, it would almost been better for me to at least be there to help with publicity or that.
Yeah, because Sean wasn't any help, really. And
I said I went, just looking in hindsight, because I still really loved it, and I felt like a lot of people could have really enjoyed that show if they knew about it, but it's just, you need someone as a producer to be, and I just learned that with the Fringe, you need someone doing press kits that look beautiful, that you know, so that when the press come, they want to review your show.
Totally, yeah. And the more well-organized you are, the more they see how professional you are, the more responsive they are.
Yeah.
It's just part of the game, you know. And I think you're right, Chad. And I tried to do everything. And I think knowing somebody in the city to help get that buzz going, if you're going to do a show away from Toronto, is really important too. Having an insider there who can get people out, you know. Otherwise, it's really hard. Even in your own city, I'm so glad you got this woman working with you because, you know, because it's so exciting for somebody who believes in somebody's work to help it grow and get the people out, you know. But yeah, there is something very exciting, you know, and the reasons why people go down there. Yeah, I'm just a little sad now because I thought it was Mysterium Tremendum, and I thought those characters in that play would be really interesting to follow. However, there are other people going. I think, see, Sky's going, I think, to audition for Lou Viola. I think I mentioned that to you. Now, that again is interesting, you know, this whole angle of going down to try and be accepted at the Aspen Comedy Festival, you know, and a character like Lou, maybe we could interview him, and so, you know, so remember when we went and we auditioned, how nervous we were for him, and how, like, broken we were when it didn't go well or whatever, and, I mean, it went well, but we didn't get it eventually, whatever, but,
Mom and Lou have gone down, eh?
They have, that's right. Wait, they have? For what?
They went to the Aspen Comedy Festival.
Oh, really? Wow. Oh, they would have been amazing, I'm sure. Yeah. Interesting.
Well, I think they're much more the style of it.
Yeah.
Even if we had gone, I think Lou was even doing it for our own good. I think he knew Sean.
Yeah, he wanted to help Sean, I think, too.
Well, and it was hard because I think he liked the piece, and that's what he said. He said he really enjoyed the piece, but he goes, it's just not right for it.
Too edgy, maybe, or, yeah.
We probably have a better chance at the Montreal Festival than in Aspen.
The Montreal
Comedy Festival.
Yeah. Or the Festival of the Americas. That would be good there, eh? Possibly, I don't know.
The problem is I don't think they do many one-person shows. They're very European-based, and they have a lot of big casts.
Okay, yeah.
But she's really into Europe. She brings a lot of German in.
Yeah, I hear you. Makes sense. I mean, I'm stuck is, right? I mean, but,
it's always good to look at options.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
Totally. I mean, if, God, I would love to have it done again, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, if and it's an easy show for us to do again because we know the shows, you know what I mean? And it might be exciting to go back to it after a period of time. If there are any places that you ever think you might want to do it again, I'd be thrilled, you know? On the other hand, I don't want to be stuck on, I want to move ahead as well, which you're doing, and which Sean's doing, and which I'm trying to do too. But yeah, if you're a producer, if you ever want to produce it under your group, I'd be thrilled, you know what I mean? Whatever.
I think I might look into, Edinburgh's still a place with fantastic energy, and I think it would be really, I mean, what I'm seeing that you could have is, I mean, it's a neat trend you could have. I mean, this is going to the New York Fringe, but imagine even like Edinburgh Fringe. I mean, a festival that truly is like apparently like intimidating and how mind-boggling energetic it is.
Yeah, yeah. 5,000 shows. Yeah.
That's intimidating.
Yeah. It's a lot of pressure. I mean, I talked to Jonathan Wilson at the Fringe, and he still said, we should work together sometime. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I still think that with My Own Private Oshawott could do really well in San Francisco and LA, If we could get producers out there, and I'm sure it'd be a great double bill. I don't know that LA would be a great place for us to grow as artists in any way, but who knows? I mean, it could be a fun thing. If somebody else was interested in producing it, we wouldn't have to do much, And Jonathan's got that producer that's, and I said, would you really want to do My Own Private Oshawott again? He said, I'd consider it, Somewhere where we could get a lot of pre-press, because especially San Francisco, I'm sure we could have a blast there.
And what a very supportive community.
Yeah.
Much more than almost anywhere else in the state.
Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My friends have told me that. I met this group from Seattle.
Yeah.
And they're like, the best places to do shows. They said, well, now that you know us in Seattle, it'd be good to come to Seattle, but...
Wow.
They said the most supportive places have been San Francisco and I forget what else they said. Someplace I was really surprised. Like,
in the States?
Cincinnati or Chicago or something.
Oh, really? Chicago. Great theater scene there.
Yeah, maybe it was Chicago. They said very supportive as well. Just of foreign companies.
Right, okay.
I just said New York is not nearly as much.
New York is like, we have to tell you you're good before you're good.
Exactly. Well, and they like to push you down, and if you actually get up again, then they admire you.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to look at that phenomenon too in the film.
In a film?
Well, and I think because Toronto isn't necessarily a very challenging place. It's sort of like you can do work here and you can do a show and rent your theater, but it doesn't seem to have the same impact. There's not many producers here. Whereas in New York, I mean, there are people who go to small theater and independent theater looking to produce the next big thing.
Right, yeah.
And so there is that buzz, much more than in Toronto, where there is not that person.
Yeah.
There is nobody in the city going to small independent theater and looking to create, like even Alex and Kelly show last year, this hotel, Richard Zipperary, Randy Houston, Alan Nashman, like huge cast. One of Alex's best pieces of work, smashed it in the fridge. Not a single person picked it up or ever talked about it again. Like theaters, even the theaters are like, no.
I know, it's hard, Chad, and that show deserves to be done again. Absolutely, it was very clever and very, and he would have strengthened it, I'm sure, even more. And it was very visual. It was very exciting. It was very inventive.
And yet at the same time, it wasn't in any way alienating and against the man. I mean, in some ways, even more mainstream than the shows that I do.
Yeah.
And I can see with my shows that people in theaters wouldn't really.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But in factory, I mean, it's a perfect fit for craft or Paragon.
Yeah. Especially even in a backspace, you know what I mean? For Alex's show. For your show, I think you have a good point. And even a piece like Stuck, I really believe, a lot of people shy away from our work in a way because it's producers would not, like Jonathan Wilson was picked up by those two guys, Latimers and Follows, because he had it was a very easy show for people to connect with. You know what I mean? It was a very sellable show. Our work is more challenging in a way, and producers are afraid of taking a risk.
Yeah.
Even I met what's his name? That guy. He's on the Fringe board, the Asian guy. Do you know who I'm talking about? Derek Chua. And we were chatting briefly, and he said, he produced a show at the Fringe, which did you see it? It was, I don't know, it was all right. I mean, it was a show that had been written probably years ago. They got it out of Samuel French, and it was about these actors auditioning, you know what I mean? But it didn't go anywhere. It gave some actors some good turns to show their stuff, but it wasn't really deep work at all.
Yeah.
But it was good for a laugh. But he said to me, David, to be produced, you need to sometimes make changes in the work for it to be produced. And that's when I stopped talking with him, because when he's talking like that, he wants something safe, It's not that I don't like him, and I think it's great that he wants to produce theater, but I want people who believe in the work, and nurturing artists, But I understand his point of view. If he's going to put private money into it, he's got to be sure he's going to make back his investment, or at least not lose a bundle. But anyway, let's talk briefly about film, just because I know, our time is limited, and I don't know, I mean, let me ask you, okay, say theoretically the sky's going down, but he might not be going down at the same time as the Fringe. He might be. I'm going to find out about that. You know, of course there's Sky. There's Ellie Ray Hennessy is directing a show. I don't know who's in it, but they're going down. Terrence Bryant's going down.
Yeah.
Terrence is a nice guy. I don't know how he might be interesting to interview and follow. Someone like Clinton is I think much more theatrical in a way, you know. And Sky, I think, is very interesting. Because they're real outgoing characters. You know what I mean?
Another idea that hit me,
yes,
as you were saying,
yes,
was I think it would be great if you or I, probably you because I'd be operating the camera,
sure,
had your own like fake fringe show that you were going down for. Part of that, because I really love your whole. I mean, you know, I love that because even in my shows, you can probably see. I think one of the things you connect to is I also love the blurring of reality and fiction and dreams. And I think it would be. I mean, it might be, or maybe even someone that you know down there, or something that's easy, like either one of us, or if we bring someone else, or if you know someone down there. I just think that would be another great twist, that there's sort of like we have these, you know, flyers or these whatever for a show that doesn't exist. So we're going to our venue, and again, I love the idea of the obstacle, and kind of going, well, where's my tech pack? And they're like, we don't have you down here. And they're like, oh, and you have, and we'd great to have like at the backpack all the props hanging out of it. And so what you have to do is end up performing it on the street.
That's great.
Because your venue, it's like having the hotels booked, and you can't.
That is interesting.
And you have no, so they have to like set up the little thing, and they do like this one-person show.
Yes.
On the street.
Yes.
That can be part of the, just to give that whole you know what I mean, mockumentary feel.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That is interesting, and boy, oh boy, that could be interesting. Now, to be honest, I don't know if I could pull that off as an actor. Do you know how comfortable I would feel selling that? Do you know what I mean? But it might be interesting to not hire an actor, but or bring an actor in to do that. Do you know what I mean? And that he could be part of our shoot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm thinking even someone that you would know.
Yeah.
In New York.
Somebody in New York.
I'm just thinking it might be hard to bring someone else down.
Yeah, it would be. And it could be expensive, too, if somebody's expecting it paid or get put up or something like that. I know people, I'm sure we could find someone in New York, you know, who didn't get into the Fringe, you know, and is really pissed off about it and really
That's even better. And so he's like, I'm doing my show.
Yeah. Well, tries to convince the Fringe people that he was accepted, you know?
That's great. Yeah.
Oh, that could be really good, eh?
Yeah.
And we find a real dynamic character who's really forceful, and we follow his, that could be part of the journey. Now, one thing I'd be wary of is splitting, trying to do too much, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think
I'm just thinking of it as having, so you have one single focus.
Yeah.
That's like the one kind of, the story or the journey.
Yeah.
And then that way you can open up to be, because I think what's hard with a lot of documentaries is that they don't have one focus. They talk to a lot of people. They deal with one general issue. But it's so much nicer to follow one person and their personal.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like even having something like overdramatic scenes where he's on the phone, he's almost crying or something. It's like they don't understand me. And then people are like, oh my God, like what's going on? And then there's other scenes. And then his show could be really ridiculous as well, but he really means a lot to him.
Totally. Chad, I think that's very interesting. I think what you, just as you're saying that, what excited me about that was we could possibly fuck with this a bit. In other words, possibly, create the piece where we're following this Toronto group down, and then all of a sudden the Toronto group is maybe at the Fringe office getting their information, and then this person barges in and says, well, we've enacted all this, and then we say, sorry guys, or we just go, the camera goes to them, and we leave them, and we follow this guy's story. Do you know what I mean? So we fuck with the expectations. You know, the audience is expecting we're following this, and all of a sudden we're off the. So we could juxtapose both things and jump. You know, and the beautiful thing about video is we could go where the energy. You know, that could be another angle that we could explore. I mean, how much of it do we want to make it a mockumentary? How much of it do we want to make it a doc, like about these Canadian people? How much of it do we want to make it? But I think, Chad, I really think there's room for both, you know? I mean,
the other option, too, is that depending on how many Canadians are going down, we could use an actor from one of the other shows and just not highlight them in the...
Right. Yeah.
No, just say, listen, we've got a great idea for you, like say Clinton or something like that, or something, someone like Clinton Walker, and just not, talk more to Sky or the other people in the cast, or maybe talk more about Sky's show more than, and just so that we have somebody that again, just to keep it
to
calm.
focus on. You mean? Yeah.
And someone who, and I think that the answer to that is really, I think really playing up the improv of this, and playing as we go, and seeing, there's a real advantage of film over theater, is that you can do all this stuff and shoot it on the fly, and then go back and make a decision like after a week. You know what I mean? Whereas theater, you have to make a decision now.
Exactly.
Because tomorrow's dress or whatever.
Totally, Chad.
Or you can't always leave it up in the air, because otherwise it really fucks up the actors.
Yes. Yeah.
But then we can see which really stronger, because we could have this really beautiful, you know, semi-documentary about this guy who's got this friendship that he doesn't know that he's not in. And
Yes, that could be. And the other thing too is possibly.
Or something could happen to the Canadians down there.
Exactly.
Something good, like they win the first prize, or they. That happened the very first year of the Fringe. Mark Lonergan.
Yes, that's right.
And that would have almost been a great year. That was the year that Steve Sullivan literally almost fainted during this. He started going hyperventilated during a show, because the Fringe venues are all the ones on Ludlow.
Right. Yeah.
And they're really small. They're not well air conditioned.
Right.
It's totally sold out.
Right.
It was one of the last shows of the evening.
Right.
And the show was supremely energetic.
Right.
And he literally started hyperventilating during his show. Yeah.
This is Sean Sullivan. You mean? Oh my God! Wow.
Sean Sullivan, David Redwood's
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. See, that's
But the amazing story was just told the audience he has to stop.
Yeah.
Went outside, had a glass of water, came back, and he was fine.
See, that's interesting. That's fascinating. That's why we love to go to theater, because anything can happen. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, what you're suggesting is really exciting, because it's making it more theatrical, or more it's providing more surprises, you know, because I want it to be exciting. I'm you know, and I think, and like I said, I'm open to anything, you know, and I think the more conflict, the more obstacles, the better. I mean, you could even have like someone like Clinton. We could do a mock thing where someone decides they're not doing the show anymore or something, and you know, I mean, we could film different things. We could try different things, you know, and say okay, and just see what goes.
And even the guy that doesn't get in, he could be a Canadian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the Canadians could all protest that the Americans are like against the Canadians.
That's right. Yeah. I think that's great. And you know what, Jack? I think that's really great, because then what you bring into is, if you've got this guy on the street maybe protesting or outside the fringe office protesting it, and people go, what the fuck's going on? You go, they told me I had a spot. Here's my paper. We can make some fake papers and stuff like that. And here's my paper. And then you get responses from people about what he should do, you know. And the thing is, we don't tell the people, the street people, that this is fake. So they're buying into it like Candid Camera. It's like, you know what I'm saying? We can have a blast. But the thing is, we need really good actors who are really committed. So, see, I want it to be so good that people don't know. Like a mockumentary, you know it's tongue-in-cheek. I want it to be so good that people don't know. You know what I mean? Or they're questioned all along. So I think that's just one thought I have. You know what I mean? I mean, the other possibility is just to make a total mockumentary. But I want it to be real honest. You know what I mean? I want it to be real.
Well, that's why I think it could be blurred, and I don't think we have to call it mockumentary.
No. Yeah.
Because I think there could be tender moments.
Yes. Yeah.
Have you seen Waiting for Guthrie?
Yes. Yeah.
Because that film I felt was a mockumentary, but then by the end it really, I don't know how you felt, but I really felt for them at the end, you know, because and it really it wasn't really that funny by the end of the film.
Right. No, I know.
Because they by using the humor, you fell in love with the characters.
Yeah.
And you laugh at them, but you love them for being so vulnerable with you.
Yes.
That when the film ended on that note, you were just as sad as they were.
Yes. Yeah.
You know how they felt.
I think you're right, Chad.
So what I mean is that I think just by naturally doing it, it's about having real tender moments.
Yeah.
You know, that maybe the Fringe finally does give it, because we have these cameras on, and they go, okay, we got one spot, 12 minutes, and it was just so beautiful. Last day of the festival, you know, they go, okay, you can have the 11:30 spot. And he's sincere, he's so happy. He does his show, and there's like maybe 4 people in the audience.
Or somebody from
they're all Canadians, and they'll have higher Canadian talent T-shirts.
Interesting, right on like Sean, yeah.
Oh, and then, you know, it'd be great though. We get a cameo from Lou Viola.
Oh, yeah.
And at the end, he finally does his show, and Lou Viola goes, "You're the greatest, kid. You're the greatest. I'm taking you to Colorado Aspen."
That is hilarious. That is.
We just asked him to say,
I'm sure you would do it. I'm sure you would. Yeah.
I mean, like, hey, you really got it. And he's just like, he's crying again. He's like jumping down Ludlow Street. Yes! And even like the closing shot of him,
That
like,
would be amazing. Yeah. See, now what you're talking about is really creating a story in a way. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, I guess I'm trying to have
Yeah.
more of a story because I'm also someone who,
Yeah.
no matter how abstract my shows get, I always still try to have a journey
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
people.
We need a journey. Yeah.
Because it's pointless without a journey. Because people need something to follow. Because I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
the problem is, people watch a documentary.
Yeah. And they want to know what's. Yeah.
It's kind of there's a hard thing with Canadians in New York. It's not like doing a documentary on growing up gay or breast cancer or being obese or something very vulnerable and very scary.
Right.
I mean, it's a very lucky thing. These are people who have the money and the resources to just go and go to New York. You know, I mean, there's no real. So it's good to have some kind of story because, like you were saying about conflict, there isn't a lot of inherent conflict in these lucky, upper middle or middle class theater kids going to New York and having a good time there. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying it's different than the usual struggles, or even like Roger Moore's talking to people who their whole life has been working at the Ford factory and they get laid off.
Yes.
And they don't have a high school. They barely have a high school.
You're right, Sean.
I mean, that's a really frightening.
Yes.
So I think that's why you need the story. It's something that is a bit higher stakes.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's a good point. I mean, and this is something
I think it can still be shot in the documentary style.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It can still have that feeling to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good point. I think it's a very good point because that's one thing. You think, why are we really going to care about these people? Other than the theater people, who really wants to see this?
Exactly.
I think that's a good point. And it's good because you're challenging one of my thoughts, which was my original thought was, okay, the story would be just about these people and going on this journey, trying with their expectations and the story or the characters will be the characters that we're following who are naturally theatrical because of their personalities. But I think you're right. I think
you need somebody, without making fun of the people that we're actually going to be documenting for Toronto.
Right.
Because I think that can only go so far, but I mean, how far are they really going to want to be?
I know.
It's better to have a fictitious character,
Right.
but just by using by using the fictitious character that you can actually be even more dramatic, even more serious, even more.
Yeah. Because you're right. How vulnerable are these people like Scott going to allow themselves to be?
Exactly.
Yeah, and I was hoping they'd be really vulnerable and allow them to be the stars of their own lives. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But they may not want to do that.
Exactly, and they may just not. And it's hard to just sort of be vulnerable. And that to be an honest thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because you're going to be.
Because I mean, how many of these people? I mean, just to say they don't need this.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
They don't do well in New York, so what?
Yeah.
They just they go back to Toronto and go back to the grants and their awards.
Yeah.
They have nothing to lose.
Yeah. But it is interesting that they're still really excited about doing it. I mean, why are they doing it?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that they don't want to.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it's
stakes
not.
aren't tremendously high.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not saying that it's not interesting. I'm saying it's a great basis, and I think it's a real.
Yeah.
It is interesting for a while, but you just said it yourself.
Yeah.
Who is it really interesting to?
Yeah.
I mean, I know.
Yeah.
And trust me, I find it interesting, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
About having another store.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask you. I think you're onto something really good. I think I'm just nervous about writing a story, but I think it would be very good to do that because it could be a simple story, right? I mean, and we could still riff off it. It could still be like jazz. I'm thinking of jazz. Well, my original thought was collage, where you just do all kinds of things and create this movie that is not linear necessarily, but you have all kinds of images juxtaposed. Like. Say we're talking about falling flat on your face or something like that, or I don't know. In other words, as a filmmaker, what you can do is you can have people talk about something and then video something else that like you did in your piece. I'm just trying to think of a specific example, but I don't know. Just juxtaposing lots of images and making like a collage of a film, which is more surreal in a way and less narrative, less clearly narrative than what we're talking about. But I'm not adverse to what you're talking about because it brings us in and it makes us care.
But in the same way that I'm just jazzing on what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I think the story can still be freeform. I think that to get the actor to do this kind of stuff. You know, I don't think it should be like a film or a script.
Right, yeah.
I guess maybe my ideas are being very clear, but I think I'm just on a lucky break here. I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to give it like a script.
Right, yeah.
I'm saying like maybe a basic plot, but I mean really, and a lot of the time too, it's to see what's more interesting, because I agree, this could backfire. What I'm saying is it's good to have two, because they almost become in competition.
Yes.
So something.
That's it.
So something, you know, almost like in the sports way, that is, if Sky's story does become vulnerable, something happens to the Canadian group that is deep, then we go with that story. Just like your thing in the office. But if suddenly this guy, you know what I mean, we could give this guy free rein and say, at any time, you know, feel free to, I mean, if he doesn't burst in, he doesn't burst in, but if he does burst in, we're just surprised.
Yes, totally.
And we're like just filming this guy, and he's like, God damn it, where the hell's my venue?
That is so interesting, Chad, because maybe that is so interesting, what you mentioned about competition, that, you know, the setup is we're going to follow these Canadian people, but then we find this guy who demands to be photographed because he wants his story. He really has higher stakes. He didn't get in, and he got fucked around or something like that, and he needs to do this show. That's interesting. That is, and he's always fighting for our attention. And there's a real high. The other thing where you could have competition is among the different actors in Sky's company. Maybe they each want more time. Possibly, maybe they each want their story to be the focus or something like that. You know, I mean, and you and I, we might have disagreements, which we could even give the camera to somebody else to hold while you and I are having disagreements. Do you know what I mean about how to do this? Which is why I wanted to do this, because part of me is interested in the nature of collaboration, the nature of creativity, the as I think a big difficulty was the temperaments that you were dealing with, in particular with me and Sean. I'm still going. Do you know what time it is? Because he's got to go.
Well, I've got to pay my bill.
Oh, you got to pay it. Okay. Well, 3 to 12. 3 to 12. Okay. Can you bring us the bill?
Sure.
Thanks. I got it, Chad. I got it.
Okay.
Yeah. What was I going to say? To me, you had to deal with a lot with Sean and I, because he caused me a lot of, you know, I was very vulnerable to his moods and his outbursts, and you were in the middle. So I think I'd like to work with him again under the right conditions. I think him not being on this journey might make it a little more direct between us. You know what I mean? Which might, and if our communication is good, and you say, David, you're getting a little out of control now, or we just got to take a break, okay, or you're too high, and not high from marijuana, but just hyper, you know? Or David, let's just sit and calm down, because I think you and I can balance each other in a way, which could be really good. But at the same time, I think we could just have a lot of fun, you know what I mean? And just have a blast. And I'm thinking of this possibly, it would be great if we could make something that could be shown at like independent film festivals, you know? And also as a calling card for us to say, look, this is what we did. We had a blast in New York, and this is what we made. Do you know what I mean? And God, you know, it just expands us as artists, you know? And thanks very much. I'll pay you right now because we're in a bit of a rush. Let me just make sure I got money. Oh, this is jazz, is it?
Sure.
Is this jazz?
Sure, it is jazz.
Thanks very much. Keep the change. No, I'm just joking. 1093. Okay, yeah, you can bring the change. Tara, thank you, Tara. Well, I'm not that wacko, but you know, and that would take the pressure off of us, you know, just to have fun, you know, but I think you're right, to block out some sort of story in which we are in control. I think it's important for us to talk to Sky and those people and say, we want to do this, and Chad and I are and maybe get a certain amount of input, I don't know how much from them, but we could go and we could have a discussion with them and see how they feel about it, and that might shape our ideas further, you know what I mean? Would you be interested in that?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. And I think that especially this whole idea, this whole story, it's not about a script, it was just about making it more accessible to everybody.
Yeah, I think that's smart.
I mean, even no matter how experimental I didn't get with my own work, I still try to think of what people would enjoy in terms of music and dance, and comedy. And
thank you. I think you're bang on. Jeff. And I think that's one thing I really lack in my creative makeup is structure. And I think what you could bring to this in a big way is some sort of structure, you know. And that's really where you help me with stuff is to say, okay, look, we need a bit more, whatever, structuring, because I would come up with a lot of shit, and so structure could be really good, and that balance between you and I, me going, let's just fly, and you go, okay, but we need some sort of, but we need to ground it in some sort of moment of story here. What's the moment here? What's this about? The other thing I'd like to talk about is themes. What are the themes we're interested about? Canadian American, about being an artist, about about needing your story. I think your idea about this guy needing his story to be heard, is really interesting. Finding a good actor to do that would be a wonderful challenge. But I'm sure we could do it. New York is crawling with great actors, or we could find someone here who might want to do it for very little money and just, again, for their own reel. So maybe think about someone. I don't know, but maybe it might be nice to have someone that nobody in Toronto knows, possibly, and maybe it's a New Yorker, like a native New Yorker or something like that. I don't know. I mean,
I'm just thinking a New Yorker might be good, and even someone who's not really that well known in New York,
exactly.
Because of the natural energy of someone in New York.
You're right.
You know what I mean? Someone who's not afraid to burst into an office.
Totally.
Like some kid from the Bronx or Brooklyn.
Totally.
And just with the accent too, and I think just to make it more believable too, because if you're sending Canadian, just even accent-wise,
right?
It's just.
I think you're right.
I don't want there to be tons of. I mean, it's better if it's just I think an American who's.
Yeah. A great juxtaposition of energies of everything, and it would. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're bang on. And I know that through talking to Lou, he might even be able to know, I'm sure he knows some good actors down there. And Lou knows us, so we could explain to him the kind of guy. Someone like Jack, in a way, except a lot more aggressive, maybe, or a lot more aggressive.
Yeah, well, and just...
Not so like...
But at the same time, sociable, too, I think.
Right.
What would be great about this guy is that he could be really, all over the place,
Yeah.
And just, but even, maybe a bit too crazy like Highwire, but...
Yeah.
Because it would be nice to have him... Oh, I gotta get going.
Okay. Listen, I think you're right. Sociable is bang on. Someone who can engage people.
Yeah.
And intellectual. Someone who's smart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and someone who doesn't come off as insane.
Right.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. Okay, Chad, I'm going to call Sky. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, just let me ask you about the camera with DNA. Do you think would it be possible to borrow it?
I'll check into it.
Okay,
I'll ask.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little uncomfortable, but
we could even rent it off him for $50 a day or something like that. I don't know. You're going to have to just tell me. I need to know very quickly what model it is because I need to find out. I might be able to get one or something like that if it's a problem. But can you find out pretty quickly what model?
Yeah, it's seriously called a Sony Digital 8 camera.
Okay, the Sony Digital 8. Okay.
Yeah, it's a really basic model.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't know the exact code on it, but it's a
Sony Digital 8.
If they go, oh, you mean the da-da-da, then
right.
But it's a really typical model.
Okay, it's a new Sony, pretty new?
Yeah, I guess last year.
What's that? Okay.
But it's the one that everyone finds.
Oh, really?
A lot of people are...
Okay. And you say it cost roughly how much?
I think $2,000.
Sony Digital 8, $2,000. Okay, because one bit of research I want to do is find out how much it's going to cost to edit. Because when you use a higher-end camera, it may cost a lot more to edit. It may, you know what I mean? So, because I want to see this as a project that could get edited and put music in or whatever, and I don't want it to be exorbitant on the production end.
No.
Okay, I'll talk to you. What time are you working here till?
7.
Till 7. Okay, I'll call you because. And do you know when the Fringe Festival is down there?
I always thought it was later in August.
I think it is, Chad. I think it is. Yeah.
Like last part about not now.
And I'll talk to Sky and okay, I'll just do some questions. When I talk to people, I'm just going to say Chad and I are thinking about doing this. We're not sure exactly how we're going to do it yet, but I'm just wondering what your arrangements are in terms of going to New York. And
you should try and see if you can get the Fringe number and get any of the Canadian groups that are going down.
Yes. Yeah.
If you could get it from the Fringe office.
Yeah, you're right. And I can get the Fringe number from our Fringe here.
Yeah, and I'll phone DNA and ask about that.
Yeah.
I also have a friend who works, my producer Laura,
right,
who does some editing at Rogers, and maybe if we promise to show it on Rogers when it's finished, they might lend us like a 10 or 20 hours of editing time.
And if you can find out what kind of editing suite, what their capabilities are for what kind of video, because that will depend on maybe affect what kind we shoot it on. Because each of these each of these editing machines only does certain kinds. So if you could ask her that would be great. If you could jot that down.
Okay.
Good. Yeah, it could be a lot of fun,
Yeah. I'd love to. Like you yourself, I'm very inspired by New York.
Right on. Yeah.
There would be no question about going down there.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Okay, I'll speak to you later.
Okay,
Thanks, man. Bye. That was cool, wasn't it? Yeah, very cool. A man walking. A man sitting, writing a letter, putting it in the envelope. Very nice little envelope, nice little letter. And really tough looking guy signing it or sticking it down the back of the envelope with one of those cute little sticky things, those little stickers. Juxtaposition. So the idea would be to actually find somebody who didn't get in and actually audition a bunch of the people who didn't get in and then choose one of them to be or maybe a few of them, I don't know. But and they're going to be really pissed off, the ones who don't get the gig. Talk to people here, get the word out, people who did not get accepted and find out why, and have them be part of it as well. Also interview people here about this whole business of how the Fringe operates and how it's different, and then interview people down there about their thing, Osgood, walk 2 blocks west, just north of McCall, right? 35 McCall. Hello. This is Romeo on a long distance telephone. Oh, hi. This is goodbye. The way you make the buffalo roll. Hi. You're not Ian, are you? Oh, okay, hi. I'm David. How you doing? Good. Nice to meet you. I'll let you, when you're ready, if we could chat. Yeah, great. Cool, thanks. Oh, great. Okay. Let me ask you a quick question. I'm taping my experience. Is that okay? Yeah. Cool. Okay. Just get my notepad out. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Basically, I want to start making some documentaries.
Sure.
I'll start with one. But first I want to find out about I use a camera.
Okay.
And I want, those are, how much are those, do you know?
Those are expensive.
Yeah. Okay.
It just depends how much you're willing to spend.
Right, okay.
But digital cameras are going to be more expensive. Like, you really have to shop around. If we're going to buy them secondhand, they'll be cheaper. But it all depends on your range.
Right.
Hi-8s are the cheapest poorest quality camera that you can possibly buy.
Okay.
So you could do a video on it, but it's going to be really poor quality.
Great. Okay.
It's going to degrade a lot.
Right.
It's not the best quality camera to get. But it just depends how much money you have, how much you're willing to spend, and the quality of the film and product that you want to produce.
If the other question is for different kinds.
Yeah.
How does that relate to buying a camera?
Okay, well, Trinity rents cameras.
Okay.
So what you might consider doing, like it depends on the documentary and the shoot, right? And again, it all depends on how much money you have and how much you want to spend.
Right.
But quite often, it's better to rent a camera as opposed to buy it, because if you rent the camera, you're not committed to it, and our cameras are pretty cheap, right? So if you think a digital camera is going to cost you like or something like that, right? That's a lot of rentals. So I just have to.
Yeah, go ahead. Sure.
Trinity Square. Sure. So, like, a lot of people end up renting the cameras because of that, because they're able to get all the best quality features, shoot in a high format, and not make a commitment to a product or something like that. Because just because we're using digital now, it doesn't mean in 5 years that's going to be out of date, right? And then you're stuck with a piece of technology that's not up to date or current or not useful with other formats. Because Trinity Square, because formats change really fast.
Okay. Yeah.
Unless you really want to make it that sort of investment,
Right.
sometimes it's better to rent.
Okay,
Too,
I hear
right?
you.
Because
Yeah.
even the technology and the way we edit has
Yeah.
changed quite a bit. Like
Okay.
everything's done on computers now, and
Yeah.
the formats just are constantly changing.
Okay.
So, unless you're really into it and
Yeah.
you really want to buy it, or it works out cheaper, like the documentary is going to take you 6 months to do or
Right.
something like that, you
Okay.
might reconsider that.
I hear you.
To edit at Trinity, we have different types of editing suites,
Okay.
and we have they can take different types of formats. They can take beta,
Okay.
SVHS, and digital,
Okay.
digital 6 tapes.
Right.
So that's sort of the formats that we deal with here.
Okay.
So if you got a camera, and you wanted to edit here, if you were doing high 8, you
Right.
have to transfer the tapes, so they go
Okay.
down in generation.
Oh, really? Okay.
So,
Yeah.
unless you were going up to Betacam or something like that.
Right.
So,
Yeah. So if I got a high 8 camera.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
that one, you might be able to print from the one upstairs.
So if I did a high 8 camera or bought a high 8 camera,
Mm-hmm.
and then wanted to edit it,
Yeah.
I'd have to transfer it to what?
You'd probably want to transfer it to Beta.
Because it'll be a
With
better
time
quality, right? Or no?
Yeah, because it won't lose the quality.
Okay.
And you'll be able to edit here.
Okay.
And you'd want to have time code on.
Okay. Oh, right. Because we wouldn't have time code on the high 8?
No.
Okay. So, see, we want to, the nice thing about using video is you can shoot a lot. It's cheap to use.
Yeah.
But then to edit it, if it could be expensive. Like, the more you shoot, the more expensive it is to edit, right? Or
Well, it
no?
just depends how you plan it out,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like what you can do is you can take your beta tapes and you can make window burns on VHS tapes.
Okay.
And then you can
Okay.
write out your film on paper and say,
Right.
I want number 065 to 078.
Okay.
And then just have a paper edit.
Right.
And then when you go in the editing room,
Yeah.
you've got all the numbers and you can type them into the computer, and the computer will make big fine clips, digitize the clips,
Yeah.
and then you can...
Makes sense. So you save a lot of money and
Yeah.
and time. Okay. So so shooting on high 8 then, it's not. You said it's the cheapest. Is there something between high 8
High
and
8
digital?
isn't the best. I would go the between high 8 and digital is S,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
that's the camera like this.
Oh. Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
sort of in between.
Yeah.
The two,
Okay.
but and it's not as good quality as the digital,
Right.
but it's
It's
like
good.
it just depends what you want to do with your end product.
Right,
If you
yeah.
want to broadcast it, or
Yeah.
what you're
Get into some, film and video,
Film
film and
festival.
video festivals,
Right.
But basically, we also want to have a good time and use it as a calling card, because I come from theater,
Mhm.
but we want to have some fun and do it not too expensively. But if it turned out well, we want it to be broadcast at least maybe if it got into a festival or something like
Okay,
that.
if you're talking broadcast,
Yeah.
then the broadcast things, it's a lot tighter in terms of what they need.
Okay.
Because the picture starts to break up in things when it's transmitted over air.
Okay.
So if you're talking broadcast, then you're investing a lot of money into something like
Really?
or at least digital.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So
High 8
it's
is
a
not
lot of money.
acceptable?
No.
I thought it was.
To it.
Huh?
No.
Even for festivals, film and video festivals?
It'll show in festivals.
Right.
It'll show in, but they can't broadcast that. The
Oh,
signal
gotcha. Okay.
degrades.
Okay.
So you can broadcast something.
But it could be accepted at festivals.
It would go into film.
Okay. Are a lot of festivals stuff shot on high 8? Or?
No.
No?
Because it's the lowest quality.
Okay,
tape,
I
and
hear you.
It's like just like
Right.
it's bad.
Okay.
I mean, it's just bad.
Okay,
So
okay.
you should aim for like at least VHS or SVHS.
Okay. VHS or SVHS?
Yeah, SVHS is preferred. Like if you're going to do it.
Oh, you're talking about camera now, right?
Um,
We're talking about tape, end product.
I'm talking about the end product
Okay.
too.
Right.
Like,
Right. Okay. So, but technically, I could video it on a high 8 and then switch it to VHS or SVHS.
you could.
Yeah. I mean,
Like
yeah.
it.
Yeah. Go ahead. No, be honest.
I mean, like if it were me, I would stay away from the high end.
Okay, gotcha.
Just
Okay.
stay away from
Right.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go right to a camera that is S, like that one there.
Yeah.
Or
Or
V8.
digital.
Or digital. Yeah.
Or and shoot it that way.
Digital 6, you mean? Or
Yeah,
no?
digital 6.
Okay. And what's VHS? Which camera would that be?
This camera can take regular VHS tapes too. The only difference between VHS and SVHS is SVHS is a slightly higher quality tape.
Okay.
VHS you can play at home on your VCR.
Oh, right.
But SVHS you can't.
Okay.
And the tapes, they look exactly like regular tapes.
Right.
That you play in your VCR, but the signal's different.
Oh, okay.
So even though it looks like a regular tape, you wouldn't be able to play it at home.
Okay. Now, would that, I mean, when you said doing a paper edit, you would need your own home, you would need something that you could watch on your home VCR.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you would make a window burn of this
Right.
tape.
Oh, you could, okay.
So you can take this tape and you can, here, you can transfer it onto a...
And that's not too expensive, to a VHS.
It's not too expensive, I just...
Okay, but it loses resolution.
Trinity Square. Hi. Oh, God. Well, it's not just the kit. It's the tripod, it's the monitor, it's a whole series of lights. Like, it's a whole... Like, she's taken out a ton of stuff. Oh, God. It's only start, I don't know, 100,000? Who knows? A lot of bookings coming into August. You can tell her that she has to get extra insurance somewhere else, or she can call our insurance agent and take out a little extra or something. You know, what did you want me to say? But she's got to know today. That's the thing. So would she become financially responsible for that? If I tell her it's her money, like it's $25,000 of her money, or... Okay. Key in a safe box. Okay. Now, if she wants insurance, where do I send her? How can I send her? Like, should I take her to whole insurance, or who should I? Like, can I give her a number because she might want to take out insurance, and I just want to have a number that I can give. It's covered, so she doesn't need. Okay. Or the value. Harlem! Harlem! Hardcore! Putting in the car, okay. Alright. Okay, I've got people here, so I should help them. But, yeah, and I'll tell her this for sure. Okay, sounds good. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Okay, excellente. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll just bring up input.
I just want to sleep, so.
Oh, that's fine. Your last name is
M-A-S, C-A-R.
they can tax on it, so it actually costs $5.40. It is 2:30. Hey, so where were we?
You were telling me about burning. What's the phrase you used? Burning a. If you wanted to use an SPHS, you would burn a.
Window burn.
Window burn.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a window burn.
Okay.
It's basically a copy of your your S tape,
Right.
and it's got numbers at the bottom of it.
Okay.
That it's pretty straightforward.
Okay. Would burn it onto a VHS.
That would go onto a VHS.
Okay, which then we could watch and do a paper edit.
And you could do a paper edit.
Okay. And then, but will it lose resolution in that way?
Well, your master tape, when you actually did the final edit,
Right.
you'd use the S tape.
Gotcha. You would just visually watch where that you would line it up because the numbers would be
the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you. Perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. So I understand. See, I was in the store the other day and I got, I was looking at these VHS digital aids.
Right.
They run about, what were they? Around 1,000, 900, 1,200, something
Yeah.
like that. But you really think that that's not the best way to go right now?
It's
Yeah.
not the best, not if you're going to edit here, because
Right.
we can't handle this format, because it's so
Okay.
low,
Right.
nobody uses it, and
Right.
so we
Right.
can't handle it. So if
Okay.
you're going to edit here, you'd
Yeah.
have to transfer all your tapes anyway.
And what's the most common that people transfer from IA to what?
See, they don't,
Oh, really?
right? Because if they're going to edit, they're going to use beta, or they're going to use a quality thing. Like if they're going to invest all the money and make a film
Right.
and edit something, they're
Okay.
going to use a proper camera.
So, but theoretically speaking, if I wanted to transfer it to something,
If you wanted to transfer something, you
Yeah.
could transfer it to either S or
Yeah.
beta,
Okay.
but you'd probably go for beta.
okay, and then edit it
Yeah,
here.
and you could do that too.
Okay.
Like, there's nothing
But
saying
it-
that you can't.
But the quality just goes down. Yeah.
Not if you transfer it to beta. The quality will stay the same.
Oh, really?
It's just that high it's a really low quality.
Yeah. But they do show, it would show a festival.
Yeah.
People do that.
Yeah, people,
Because money right now, so we want to do a shoot that's maybe about a week.
Right.
But I also would like to maybe, the lighter weight one, but that's a pretty heavy camera.
That is.
bulky.
Yeah.
Does SVHS?
Well, it just depends.
Yeah.
Like this has a time code generator
Right.
in it, which
Okay.
is why it's so heavy, and it has a lot of options on it.
Okay.
The other camera is a lot lighter,
Yeah.
and we have it. It doesn't have the time code generator,
Right.
so you'd have to burn in your time code afterwards.
Okay.
And we can't do that here. You'd have to take it to a dev house.
Okay.
And it's the same with the window burns.
Right.
We're not set up to do SVHS window burns.
Oh,
I
you're-
can give you some names of
Okay.
places, and you can get.
Just as you're saying that, it seems to me that one of the easiest ways of doing that is getting a VHS camera.
Yeah, like you could
Yeah.
just shoot it in VHS,
Right.
and then you could watch it at home.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about anything. It's
Yeah.
really straightforward. You can still edit here using
Right.
it. There's a straight cut room upstairs that's
Right.
$6 an hour.
Okay. That's
You
pretty
know,
reasonable.
like
and you can do a paper edit too.
you can do a paper
Before you
edit
go in.
too.
Yeah, because it's got the time code on
Well,
it.
it won't have the time code on it
No.
because the VHS tape won't have time code.
Oh, okay.
But like you can do it visually sort
Right.
of too. Like you
Yeah.
can sort of plan it out.
Right.
And if you're paying $6 an hour per room,
Yeah.
I'm not sure right now what they're going for. Those cameras are small like that, and they're pretty cheap.
Oh, really?
They're pretty much out of use these days.
Oh, really?
So it's not good quality.
Right.
It's like the lowest of the lowest.
But it's better
Yeah.
than high 8.
It's about comparable.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for maybe $2,000, could I buy something used?
Oh yeah, I'd say even cheaper. I'd say like 800, 500. Not really.
Yeah.
Like I don't really deal with sales or
Right,
anything like
yeah.
that, so I can't really say.
Can you recommend?
I would just go through the phone book and
Really?
call around.
Yeah.
And I'd check the buy and sell newspaper
Right.
and things like that.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. Now, are there any stores that are reputable that sell used cameras that you?
The best thing to do is
Yeah.
go through the Yelp pages
Right.
and just make phone calls.
Okay, I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You
Yeah.
just don't recommend. Yeah, you're not. Or whatever.
Just don't know.
Okay, yeah.
I can because I don't go shopping for cameras.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like if you're talking VHS, compact C, or high 8,
Yeah.
those are the lowest end formats, right?
Right.
Those are really, really low end.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And to edit at Trinity, we don't take high 8, so you would have to get a transfer done.
Right. Yeah.
But if it was in VHS, SVHS, you could do it here, or compact C VHS.
Okay.
And compact C comes in SVHS as well.
Okay.
One thing about cameras is cameras have different chips.
Right.
The best type of camera has 3 chips.
Okay.
It's color chips basically. It's
Right.
it's that camera is the best quality.
Okay. To learn. Okay. I hear you. Brand change for me.
Panasonic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are Panasonic, do they make okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not bad,
Uh-huh.
but they're going to be hard to get. Like those are going to be hard to find because they're not really used anymore.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Do you know?
I would assume,
Yeah,
but
okay.
you have to, they're really pushing with these cameras, because they're like home use or for weddings and they're so
Right.
compact and they're easy to carry and stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, most of the things what you'll find in the consumer market are going to be like, there's Henry's.
Okay. You've given me a lot of things to think about, you know.
Sure.
Because editing, you know, say you had 20 hours of tape to look at. Like, you know, we want to shoot a high ratio.
Yeah.
Because that's the fun of it, of doing it with cheap tape.
Yeah.
But then that could be a nightmare. Like in documentary.
What's your documentary on?
Well, we're thinking of going down to New York, and we're theater people, so there's a couple theater groups going down. We might want to make a little documentary of them going down, and but create some sort of story structure to go along with it.
Yeah.
So we might go down to New York for a week and just hang out, and you know. But I don't know how much we should structure it. I mean, do you do course, or can you recommend anybody who does documentary filmmaking? Do you guys do anything like that, or?
No, we don't. I mean, there's certainly books which you can buy. There's a number of books that you can get. You know, if you can't afford the books, you can but there's plenty of books on documentary film. You suggest that you watch a lot of documentaries.
Totally, yeah. I've been starting already.
And, so if you watch a lot of documentaries, you get different ideas.
Yeah. Because it's NFB does a lot. They're famous for documentaries.
Yeah, I'm just going to get that.
Go ahead,
Trinity Square? No, it's not. Did you want his voicemail? I have no idea. Okay, great.
I mean, it's, and my friend, he's a theater director, so we weren't sure if we should bring someone with us, you know, to be the camera person.
Right.
Or it just could get expensive, you know.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Trinity, Jason's on holidays. Can I help you? Ian. Hi, Elvin. How are you? Were you able to find those cords, the battery cords? We'd have to call around and find out. I don't have a cost right now. We'd have to get them because it means that we can't rent a camera without that. So, I know it's not nice. Yeah, that's sweet. Okay. Yeah, it's free. What time did you want it till? 20 minutes? Not bad. We can book an hour during the day with either Andrew or myself. It's on one of the Video 100s. Doesn't take to learn it. There's a workshop. It's a pretty good workshop. It's a weekend workshop, and you can learn it pretty fast. So it's like 16 hours, the workshop. The next workshop is going to be on the 14th and 15th. You have to let us know because there's 6 people in it. For the S-Suites, what about it? The titles? Okay. I have you down for the S-Suite from 10 to 12 on Friday. You'll come by and pick up keys and pay for the room. We don't have it. Like I said, it's not there. We don't. David? Who's David? No, there's no Tyler in that room right now. People are... But if you need titles done, you can book an hour with me and Andrew, and we can go into that. Might take a little more time, but we can do it. 10 o'clock at night. If you did it during the day, I might... I could probably do it for the price of the room, provided the camera wasn't booked. I have to take the camera and I have to hook it into one of the apps. Tomorrow, pick up keys and pay for the room. Okay. Hi.
Hi, I'm here, Ray. I called this morning.
Oh, hi.
Ian.
That's to get a tour and find out about your stuff. I'm just helping him.
No problem.
I'm just giving him.
Yeah, 2 minutes. Yeah, great. Okay. Good question, then I'll leave. One thought I had was to hire somebody to come down with us, you know, and who's got a camera.
Yeah.
And that might be interesting and got some experience, you know. Do you guys have a list, or is there any...
I can think of the name of somebody. I'd recommend David. He's got his own equipment.
Okay.
Bible.
Maybe who's into theater, it's queer stuff too, so there's...
Queer?
Yeah.
David's definitely queer.
Okay, yeah. Theater, like the rush of this kind of on-the-fly shooting, you know, with too much structure. I mean, we're going to try and have some structure in terms of, but just going where the energy is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to...
It's a personality thing, you know.
Like I'd say David Finley's coming down.
Really? Yeah. But price is an issue too. We may need somebody who's not as established, but who wants to use it as a calling card, like we might want to do, just to have some fun and build up their portfolio, of stuff. Somebody less maybe established and less expensive because money is a big issue. I could, if you want to think about it, I could call you back, Ian, if that's cool.
Yeah.
I definitely wanted to. I'd be glad to talk with David.
Yeah,
I just,
really
yeah,
recommend it.
yeah.
The other people are.
What? Oh, that's okay as long as they're queer positive or open. Pardon? What's that?
They're not exact queer positive.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that's what we need. And somebody doesn't want to do it just for a gig, but somebody for money. But somebody might want to have a good time going to New York.
What time?
We're looking probably towards the end of August, like last week of August, we think. We're not sure the exact date. Pardon? Sky. Well, we're not sure yet. But I haven't spoken to him yet. So this is between you and I
So
right
it's
now.
with Clinton Walker.
Yeah. Do you know Clinton?
I know Sky.
Do you know Sky?
I know Sky. I know Clinton. I know the
Are you serious?
Going down with Moyne King and
Yes.
everything.
Well, I haven't spoken to them yet about it yet. So don't say anything. But I feel that's one of our
Oh, I know
ideas.
Sky really well.
Do you? Yeah. Oh,
I'll see
cool.
him tonight,
Cool.
so,
Are you serious?
yeah.
Don't tell him because I left him a message today.
Okay.
Don't tell him yet. Okay. Just
Okay.
just tell him.
Little secret.
Yeah. Okay. Ian, what's your last name?
My last name's Jarvis.
Okay. Oh, Ian Jarvis. Okay. Do you know David Collins?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Because he's done
my
some.
video partner.
Are you serious?
No.
Interesting. He's also done work with R.M. Vaughn or no? Richard Vaughn?
That's Michael Aspin.
Michael Ackman, yes, yeah, who's also a nice guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to, I don't know how we're going to do this, but I'd really like to do it. I think it could be a lot of fun,
Yeah.
And I don't know if Sky, I've got to talk to him and see, Chad, I wrote a play called Stuck, which actually we did it at Buddy's originally. So,
Yeah.
and Sky hooked Chad and I up, and Chad's a theater director, but it might be neat to get a film person on board with us,
Yeah.
and do it a little more collaboratively because Chad and I are new to I did actually go to Newfoundland, St.
Yeah.
John's Fringe a couple
Yeah.
of summers ago, but anyway, maybe you and I maybe we can talk at some point, a little
Sure.
bit more.
Yeah.
Are you here tomorrow or no?
I'm here tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm here at 11:30, 7:30.
Okay, great.
So,
Maybe I could call you. Actually, I don't mind if you say this guy. You could just say, so did David Rubinoff call you yet? Or did you call David Rubinoff back yet? He wants to talk to you. I mean,
I'm sure he'll be into it.
You're going to see him tonight?
I'll talk to him today for sure.
Are you serious?
I'm shooting a film on the weekend.
Oh, great. Is he involved in it? Okay, yeah. Because he's one of the guys who really gave me a chance to get going in theater and stuff like
Yeah.
that at Buddy's way back. And
Yeah, sure.
So anyway, I won't.
So you want to do a documentary of their trip down and then
Yeah.
have the play itself? Or
Well,
something like that, or
we're formulating. Chad and I are,
Yeah.
we want to really make it fun and really make it and blur we've got some ideas that we're just started generating now.
Yeah.
But we want to make it really entertaining and sort of blur the lines between mockumentary and documentary.
Yeah.
And, we just want to make it really like, just a wild, fun thing, but also with some emotional vulnerability. And,
Yeah.
I've lived in New York the last 2 years, so I've got some sort of connection there as well. And so we're still formulating. I just met with Chad today, and you're the only third person I've talked to about this. So,
Right.
But your video partner is who, sir?
David Collins.
David, yeah, I think he's a cool guy. I don't know him that well, but
Yeah.
I saw him on the street.
How do you know David?
I've sort of seen him around Buddy's way
Oh.
back and sort of just
Yeah.
see him around, and he just seems like and I think I saw one of his pieces that he did at the Gay Lesbian Film Festival a couple years ago.
Yeah, that's
Maybe,
wonderful.
yeah. What's that? Yeah.
I don't know. We've been
Yeah.
showing at that festival for like the
Re-
last 8 years.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's I love that. It's very exciting, and so anyway, things are up in the air. But do you know a guy named Ed Sinclair?
Yeah.
Have you worked with him or
He's upstairs right now.
Is he really? Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while, but I connected with him, and
Yeah.
we're not sure. We've got to find the right fit for this, and budget
Yeah,
is a big.
I would talk to
thing.
David Finley.
Yeah, okay.
Because,
Yeah.
again, he's probably the best queer
Okay,
positive person that I
okay,
can think of.
cool,
Who
yeah.
has his own equipment.
Yeah,
who
yeah.
would probably be willing down and a fun person to go
Right,
to work
okay,
with.
yeah,
Like,
cool,
He's
yeah.
a very neat guy.
Cool.
In terms of the other people
Right,
who
go ahead.
I know who would do
Yeah.
it with
Cheap.
their own equipment
Yeah,
or
we're
for
doing-
cheap,
yeah.
there's not too many off the top of my head
Okay,
who would
gotcha.
be that good to
Okay,
take. Who
yeah.
would be as much fun as David, but
Okay.
I'd really try to get Michael might do it, but again, he doesn't have his own equipment.
have his own
right?
equipment,
So
yeah.
then you have to rent the equipment and you have to pay for Michael's
Right,
equipment,
yeah.
Unless Michael wants to go for free, but
Right.
I know Michael's working, he works, right?
Right,
So he
yeah.
doesn't have to keep get time off work, and that costs money if he doesn't work. So
Okay, I'll
you know,
definitely
I know
call
David does this for a living.
Right, I'll call David. He'll be the first one I call then.
Yeah.
And thank you, Ian.
Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate
No
it. Yeah, it's funny, small world, eh? Yeah, but it's empowering.
Hey, how you doing?
Good to see you.
A little party?
A little time. This is my friend Jason. This is Romy.
I remember
the
you
bride.
from the thing at the bar.
Okay, yes.
You got up. You did a little blurb from the play.
From Stuck.
Oh, gosh.
Yes, yeah.
What's your name, I'm sorry?
Romy.
Romy.
And this is Elise.
How are you?
This is sister of the bride.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, so this is Jason, my buddy, and I'm taping my experience, and I brought a camera. Jason's going to help me do a little videotaping. Whoever's comfortable, you know, and whoever's not, we can get them on audio tape. And
Yeah, video all day on Sunday.
I know. But this is a chance to be a little more comfortable. Like you seem really relaxed, more relaxed.
Yeah, if people would like stop talking about the life
Good,
for 5 minutes
good.
here, like
Yeah,
I'd be a
I
lot
agree.
better.
I agree.
was like, how you doing? Are you okay? You relaxed?
Yeah. Okay.
Shut up about it. Like I've talked about it for 16 months. I just want to get married already and have my life back.
This is your... Oh, you didn't say?
I said the bride. I said this
Sunday.
is the
I said to my friend Haley, I looked at her, I said, do you know what I've done in 16 months? I said, I've just been engaged. Like, people are like, what do you do? I'm in school, I'm engaged. That's what I've done. It's like my job. And I'm really excited for it to be over. I'm tired of being engaged.
When are you guys going on your honeymoon?
Monday.
Monday. Okay.
Getting the hell out of here.
For how long? And
Sunday.
to Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
And for how long?
2.5.
Right on. Nice. Right on.
I
Wow.
said to Josh, I looked at him, I said, get me the hell out of here. Like, the next day. I was like, we're doing brunch. I said, enjoy your breakfast. Like, come Sunday, family shit's over. Over. I'm going
Your life
away.
begins. Yes, your married life
I want
begins.
my life back. All I've done is been engaged.
Right.
For like over a year, I've just been engaged. I don't work. I'm just engaged.
My sister was engaged for 7 years, so she's got one.
7 years she was engaged?
Well, they were
Waiting for it.
together for 7 years.
Oh, okay. But they were engaged. I was like, engaged.
But it wasn't like being engaged? Or no.
It is, because everyone's still waiting for you to get married. Every time you look at this guy. No. Generally speaking.
Yes.
You know what? There's really no time on this
Okay, thanks.
balcony.
Yeah. Okay,
Go say hi to
yeah.
everybody.
So we should eat and then do the cameras? Yes. Oh, it's good. Yeah. What? This is. Thank you, Robert. Yeah. Huh?
Go say hello to
Okay, I'll go say hello. You want to go say hi? Okay, yeah, I'll introduce you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What? What's the matter, Mom? My stomach. She doesn't like my stomach. Come on in. Joe, this is my friend Jason. This is Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Joe takes care of my grandmother.
How are you?
Yeah, he does a great job. And this is my Jason and I have been friends for like 10 years.
Oh.
Yeah, we went to acting school together many years ago. Yeah.
That's not right.
Yeah. How are you? Yeah. Oh, she looks beautiful. You want to say hi to my grandmother? Hi, Grandma Shura. Hi. How are you? Hi. This is my friend Jason.
How are you? You have wonderful.
Now you're speaking English. You're speaking Russian to me. I'm like, I don't speak Russian.
You have to speak to her on the phone. On the phone, she talks a lot more. Eh? You like talking on the phone?
But she talked. She had a whole conversation with me, but it was
Is it Russian? Yeah, she jumps back and forth sometimes.
We got to do English.
It's difficult when you know so many languages, you know? Eh? You have to speak English to us. We only know one language. Okay? Okay. Yeah. This is Lauren. This is my friend Jason.
Yeah, I remember you actually from Bloomsbury. You didn't really meet, but I remember you from meeting.
Good memory. Yes. And this is Hugh, Lauren's husband. Hugh. Yes, he just got married.
I love when
How
people say
are
that.
you? Right on. How are you, buddy?
I love it.
Yeah.
Recently, I've been saying it a lot, and I like it.
Right on. And
You just got married?
yeah. It's been a busy summer. Yeah. Hi. I'll introduce you down here.
Sunday will be 2
Yeah.
months.
This is Joanne. Hi. How are you?
David.
How
How are you?
Good. I'm just making a little tape. This is my friend Jason. How are you? Hi. Oh, Francis. How are you?
Good
to see you.
Good to see you.
Oh, it's great you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
Yes. This is my friend Jason.
Nice
This is
to meet
Francis, cousin, and this is Auntie Luba, who made the wonderful
Hi,
dinner.
Jason. Nice
This is
to
my
meet
friend
you.
Jason. He's going to help me do some videoing.
Good.
Okay.
Now you sit down and start thinking.
This is Arthur. How you doing?
How you doing,
This
buddy?
is my friend Jason.
Hi, Arthur. How you doing? This is my friend Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Hi,
Nice to meet you.
Cousin
Right
Dave.
on. This is my friend Jason.
He's from Denver.
Oh, right on. Cool. And come on over here. Yeah.
Find places.
Yes.
Start.
Okay, thanks. Okay. Charlie, how are you? How you doing? Good. How are you? Good to see you. You drove in, eh? Yeah. I just get. Well, yeah. This is my friend Jason. This is Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
And Libby. Hi. How are you? How are you doing?
Good, good. This is my friend Jason.
How are you?
And how was your drive? How was it? You look great. You look great. You look great. I love your hair.
Are you kidding?
No, it's great. It's really nice.
I feel like I feel bald.
No, it looks great. No, you know what? We're going to sit outside. It's fine. I think.
Go take
Okay, yeah,
Go
yeah.
take some plates.
Okay. Yeah. And Jason's hungry, so yeah. You know what I could use though, Mom? Is a drink. Yeah. Like some Coke. Could you pour me? Do you want some Diet Coke? You okay? Sure. It's fine. Okay. Mom, could you pour me in? Could you pour Jason one too? Thanks. Bless you. Come on outside. Hi guys. Hi. Yes. Hey, how are you? Good. How are you? This is Josh, the groom. My friend Jason. Can we join you? Right on. How are you? Oh, my mom's bringing thanks. Yeah. How you doing? I won't ask. Okay. You're on tape, man. You're on tape. We brought it.
I can't talk openly right now.
No. Well, we brought a camera too. We're going to make some interviews, but we're going to eat first, and then whoever's comfortable talking. If not, we don't. And then we have tomorrow night. I just thought I'd do something about the family. While people are in town.
This is the one who did the one for the history.
By the way, that was a great job.
Oh, you saw
I watched it.
Oh, cool. Yeah. It was a spur of the moment, and I'd like to do it with
You know what, though? It's a good idea to have that because you've got it, and you've got it forever. Because if no one asks the questions now, 30 years after the fact, what are you going to do?
My grandmother wanted me to write a book about her, and I've been so busy, and now it's hard for her to speak, so I'm like, it's hard, because I can't ask, but at least we got some of it on tape, so yeah.
Are you going to be on the other night?
She is talking. She talks a lot more on the telephone. I think part of it might be vanity or confidence, but on the phone she talks a lot more.
Okay.
Go figure. Yeah.
Because I said hi, and I said hi, but I didn't hear her saying.
Yeah, no, but depends on her. Yeah, and she might be a little overwhelmed. I'm sure she's happy to be here. Yeah. So I won't ask you too much. I won't ask you anything. Romy said, all I am is engaged. For the last 6 months, that's all I am is engaged. I don't have any other identity, so I won't bug you.
She was telling me, people say, so what do you do? I'm engaged.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you. I like your hair. Thanks.
And what will her identity be next week? Mary.
I'm married, yeah. Here, go ahead. Here.
No. I'm not
Sit, Ro.
eating. You said it.
Okay.
Oh, I ate something already. I'm done. Thanks.
I have to ask you guys a question. Well, there you go. I have to ask you guys a question while I have you both here. You were talking about a dog you're interested in?
Yeah.
How serious, how much do you want a lab? Like
Really bad.
Really? Like as a yellow lab?
Yeah.
Would you consider a yellow lab? Because I know somebody who just had 5 weeks ago a litter, and I actually brought a couple pictures he showed me today.
Pictures?
Yeah, I brought
God. You're putting fuel to a bad fire.
Why? Is that a bad thing? You shouldn't get a dog. So I just thought I'd mention it to you, and you guys.
I want a dog so bad.
And I remember you told me you guys really wanted a lab.
I
And you
was
just
interested nearly this early.
He's given 2 away. He has 5 left, and he showed me the pictures.
And so, what is this, a breeder?
No, he's a guy who got a lab, and I told him that you guys were really considering the Humane Society because I understand that totally.
So no traffic.
He's had this female dog,
I mean,
for a
it's
while,
adolescent.
and I guess he hooked it up with. It is a purebred.